When my brother fell sick, he got sick at Monterey and he died 6 weeks later. So I had never planned on being in the #1 spot. I figured he'd run it forever.
When you think of the next 10 years, what excites you? Just getting bigger, or is there some other things that excite you about this?
Why, I had quite a few suitors when we had the investment bankers and brought some great companies. And at the end of the day, it was all the tentacles of WME that is basically, if you look at everything in my business plan, and I told Ari Emanuel, that I'd met Mark McCormick 20 years ago when he was doing the tennis tournament here. We shared the same PR person. And he told me his philosophy, and I go, that's a great philosophy. And that was diversification. You control the brand and all the revenue streams off of the brand, but that everything needs to complement everything else as you build it out. So when you look around here, we sell cars, but at the same time we sell real estate. We're in the vendor business. We sell food and beverage. We have multiple revenue streams that all goes to the lifestyle. So the decision early on, and I got into this when I was a kid, and I grew up learning from basically running the trash crews to running the drivers to building the tents to computerizing the company back in the 80s, early 80s when I took computer programming. And I always wanted to make things better, even though I was in the third position. Fourth with my mother, but my father, he fell ill with colon cancer, so I started taking on more of the ops away from my brother early on. So I got a taste of every segment of this company. Back in when we only ran one auction a year, we only had 3 employees plus the family. So my assistant also booked all the travel, and you really learn to do it from the bootstraps of a budget to, you run one auction a year. I would restore cars the rest of the year and sell them here. When my brother fell sick, he got sick at Monterey and he died 6 weeks later. So I had never planned on being in the #1 spot. I figured he'd run it forever. I had other companies. Some I probably shouldn't have sold. I had a company where I wrote a computer program to order food from the internet and deliver it to your house.
Oh no.
And I sold that. Pretty lucrative business nowadays.
Yeah.
But I needed to focus on Barrett Jackson. I said, I'll sell all my other companies. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I see something, I see a niche. I don't see anybody doing anything. All right, here's an opportunity. I was a bachelor and I didn't like to cook, so I said, all right, we need a restaurant delivery company to your house, and we should use the internet to do it. So I've always been innovative, I think, and looking at how technology can change things. So when I took over the company, I had already put us on the internet in '94 before my brother's passing. In '95, we wrote the first app to bid via the internet.
Wow.
Which was way ahead of the curve.
Yep.
Did online streaming, tying in online bidding, which was way ahead of the curve. Brought in live television, so from '96 to now, we've been on live television. So my goal was, how do you get out of a niche market into a much broader mainstream market and bring new people into the hobby? And that's basically been the formula. And then when they get here, how do you entertain them all day long? And I did that by asking my customers what they want, and we made an announcement this morning based on input from doing questionnaires. I did questionnaires, Endeavor did questionnaires on what your customers want, and we announced we're going to do 2 Scottsdales. We're going to do one in October and we're going to do one in January. And they like the festival, the lifestyle, more than they like just going to a convention center.
Yeah, it gives people something to do. It brings in a lot of people into the marketplace here, a lot of consumers. It's an environment. I mean, to me, it's Disneyland for adults.
It
basically.
Is. For car guys. I mean, it's part country, it's part fair with the fair food, it's high end. We have on location serving very high end luxury. So we start off the week with Family Day. This year we added an element, we added Foreigner. So we added a concert to it. Then we went into Family Day, which is all about getting youth involved. We created a car show that is just for 80s cars and up. So it's all getting influencers and YouTubers to be the judges, bring their cars. That was on Saturday. Had 50 of the world's greatest hot rods in the main auction arena. They're all going up for cash prizes. So it's slicing it into different demographics, different days. days, different things to do. It's not always the same thing, and we program it. You've got live music down on one end, down here. This is the place to sit and watch all the cars come across the auction block. You've got 140 some food vendors on property, anything you want to eat. So if you come here, you can spend the whole day, and every day is a little bit different. The types of cars, the prices, the ancillary things that are going on.
And it's a family environment. Little kids can be here, they love it, they get to see all this amazing stuff. You know, being an iconic brand builder, right? So, which is what you are. You innovated a family business to being an iconic brand that has the systems, the people, the operations. It's a hard step for most entrepreneurs to make because they get stuck in just doing the same thing over and over and over.